Okay, what is going on, everybody? Hello and welcome back. Welcome back to my daily gameplay streaming, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, starting today, I believe 7 straight days. See, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 6 straight days. 6 straight days of constant, multiple gaming streams for you guys and gals. Welcome to my one gameplay stream for this Sunday. Today is Sunday, the 27th of May, 2018, FYI. Popsicolo has just made an excellent suggestion. He says, I think it's time that we replace the Goku emotes in my stream chat with Street Fighter ones. I wholeheartedly agree with you, Popsicolo. In fact, since we all know I'm a longtime fan of Street Fighter, and I will be playing Street Fighter, especially in this collection for a while, these emotes probably would make a hell of a lot more sense. Alright? So yes, I agree. If anyone wants to work on some Street Fighter related emotes for me to make up for the Dragon Ball ones, have at it. Have at it, my friends. Okay, I agree. So welcome, guys. And this is some great stuff today. In particular, we are starting up a brand new streaming week. And we are starting up a week full of chock new content and games for you guys. I'm very, very excited about this week. I hope that you guys are as well, as we're making the full court push into the month of June, and E3 is very, very quickly approaching. We've got a lot of fun new stuff. Okay, a lot of fun new stuff for you guys. So, let's talk. First of all, guys, today is Sunday, and I am making a pot of Italian sauce. Alright, homemade recipe, my mom's recipe, family recipe, that even I have tweaked over the years, changed it a little bit here and there to be my own. That's why I'm late. And I did announce this in last night's schedule, but I get the feeling some people did not read last night's schedule, because I saw some people kind of hanging around saying, where's Phil, where's Phil? That's why the stream started late today, because I am making a pot of Italian sauce, which takes roughly about an hour to an hour and a half to get going. Once it gets going, it has to simmer for 4.5 or more hours, which it is doing right now on my stove, so I have time to play. Okay, now, here's the thing. Since I am making a pot of Italian sauce, that means every half an hour I have to take a short break. Usually it's only about 2-3 minutes to run downstairs, stir the sauce, season it, make sure everything's going fine. Alright. And, you know, that means there will be interruptions about every half hour on stream. Just to forewarn everyone before we get started, yes, there are going to be way more breaks during today's stream than there typically is during one of my gameplay streams, only because I'm making the sauce. I only make the sauce every 2 months or so, maybe even 3, depending. So it's not something I do all the time. But, you know, just to warn you guys up, you know, ahead of time, you know, that is the case. I don't want anyone, I was still taking so many breaks today. Well, that's why. I'm working on the sauce, okay? That being said, you know, right now, actually, I'm going to be doing pre-stream in about 20 minutes or so. I have to head downstairs to stir the sauce. So if I haven't finished pre-stream, I'm just going to suspend pre-stream here, run down quick, and then, you know, and then get back to it. So, yeah. Yes, my friends. Okay. So that being said, guys, welcome to the stream. What is today's stream? Today's stream is Detroit Become Human. Continuing on after my 6+ hours of gameplay that I put into this game on Friday. I love the game. I think that the story is tremendously great. We've got 3 different protagonists, all of which are completely different life situations, and they're all really fun. There's a detective investigation aspect a la L.A. Noire that I'm really enjoying. There's an unprecedented amount of choices that you can make and or things you can or cannot discover, which lead to different things happening in the game. And I am really liking it so far. Graphics are pretty great. Music's good. Acting is on par with any you know, modern television show or movie. So far, no complaints. Really like the game, okay? So today, you know, this stream will roughly be 4 gameplay hours, as usual. How far will we get? I don't know. Will we finish my first run in the game? We might. Or we might not. It all depends on how I do in the game, right? If everyone stays alive and I do all the scenes and everything, then we'll probably have a longer run, and maybe I'll finish it, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll get to the end and we'll have to finish it tomorrow, okay? But there is a chance that I will finish the game today, in which case that's great. My first run is done. To answer everyone's questions from the past couple of games, or past couple of games, past couple of days, yes, I am most definitely 100% doing a second run in Detroit Become Human. It is locked in stone that I am doing a second run, all right? Now, obviously, the second run will not be, for a lot of people, as entertaining as the first, since you've seen most of the options and stuff you can do. You haven't seen the alternate options, but you kind of seen the gist of the story, right? So, yes, I will be doing a second run, but it will not be the main focus of this week, okay? I'll explain in a moment as I go through the schedule for the week so you guys know what to expect. So today, Detroit Become Human, 4+ hours. Every half an hour I'll be taking a break to stir the sauce, season the sauce, but we'll see how far I can get and see if I can beat the game today, all right? No second stream tonight, because tonight I have a ridiculous amount of personal stuff I need to get done. I've got bills to pay. I've got other shit to do. I've got like a real ridiculous amount of things here. In fact, tonight, and this is important for you guys, tonight I'm going to take a look at the forums of thekingofhate.com, my personal forums. I'm going to see the games that people nominated for the Patron's Choice playthrough. And I'm going to narrow down all the nominations to a poll of maybe 10 games that the patrons are now going to vote on over the next week to 2 weeks to determine what will be the Patron's Choice playthrough. Because we've already finished up all kind of the lingering projects. I finished up Yakuza 6, right? State of Decay was much shorter than I thought it was going to be. So really, once we get through this week and next week and maybe one more week, around mid-June, we'll start to run out of game releases to play, and it will be the perfect opportunity for me to start up my Patron's Choice playthrough, okay? So, I will have many more, or much more information on the Patron's Choice playthrough soon. You know, once I make that poll tonight, I'll have a big update for all of you on what games are in the running, all right? Fair enough, all right. Miguelo just said, check my email. The Crew 2 beta will be given to me on the 29th, and servers will open on the 30th. Sounds good. I will keep my eyes peeled. If the Crew 2 beta indeed is this week, I will probably work it into my schedule, because that is a game that comes out at the end of June. And I'm curious to see if it's something I'm interested in playing as a playthrough or not. All right, so that's for me tonight. That's why there's no second stream tonight. I'm going to be super busy with stuff. Tomorrow, we return to double streams. 5 straight days of double streaming. Tomorrow, Monday, will be more Detroit Become Human. I'll be either finishing up my first run and starting a new one, or continuing with my second run on my first stream. Tomorrow night, I'm going to attempt to do H1Z1 again. Hopefully, it runs as well as it did on Thursday night. On Thursday night, it actually went really good. It was like boom, boom, real fast. And I was getting matches. I was having fun. I would like to attempt that again Monday night. Hopefully, the game will be a lot more stable, and we'll get a ton of gameplay in Monday night, H1Z1. Okay? Tuesday is the biggest premiere for me in quite some time. The Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection. In fact, the collection is already downloaded onto my PS4. I'm incredibly excited to play this game. As you know, I love classic Street Fighter. Being the 30th anniversary of the franchise is amazing. I played Street Fighter 2 in arcades on release day and have never stopped since. I love the classic Street Fighter games. And so starting this Tuesday, you're going to see tons of coverage of the Street Fighter Anniversary Collection, all right? This Tuesday in particular, the entire day will be Street Fighter. I almost never do this, but I'm dedicating my whole day to Street Fighter this coming Tuesday. I'll be playing various games. You know, what games do you guys want to see? It'll really be up to you and your feedback. Do you want to see me jump right into Super Turbo online? Do you want to see me try Street Fighter 3 Third Strike online? Do you want to see me try Street Fighter Alpha 3 online? Do you want to see me do some offline game modes? What do you want to see? I'm really going to try to open up and listen to you guys and see what you guys want, okay? So, it's going to be great. That's all day Tuesday. Street Fighter Mania should be super duper exciting, okay? Then on Wednesday, yes, I will still be doing Street Fighter, but more than likely what I'll do on Wednesday for variety's sake, I'll probably do the main stream of Street Fighter, and then the nighttime stream will probably be maybe continuing Detroit Become Human to get through my second run of the game, doing alternate choices. Then on Thursday, probably more Street Fighter, and then maybe at night, maybe some H1Z1 or maybe more Detroit. That's kind of how I'm approaching this week. Obviously, Street Fighter is the big release, and there's so much content in this collection that literally every day I could play something completely different and still, you know, not have enough time. Because just between, for example, if I do my main gameplay stream on Tuesday is Super Turbo, Wednesday is Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. Thursday is Alpha 3, right? By the time Friday comes along, now we can just go back to Super Turbo, or we could even try Hyper Fighting, which is the other game that's online. I mean, I could play this game all week and not run out of content and never even repeat the same thing. And the thing is, I know how to play with a bunch of characters, so it's not even like, oh, Phil's only playing one character. I could alternate between the characters. This is going to be a ton of fun. I cannot freaking wait. It's going to be so awesome this week, and I hope you guys will be here every day to share in the awesome hype and the fun and everything about classic Street Fighter that I grew up with. This is like, if ever there was a game that was my forte, my cup of tea, and right up my alley, this is it. So I certainly hope the collection is great, because, you know, if the connections online are decent, this could be an amazing, you know, week and ongoing. As I said, since I love Street Fighter, I would not, you know, be against playing this game 1 to 2 times a week, every single week. Playing it online against people, you know, both Super Turbo, Third Strike, Alpha 3, you know, all those games are great. So it could be awesome. I'm very, very excited. Okay. So that's the gist of this week. Today, Detroit. Tomorrow, Detroit. And then H1Z1 tomorrow night. And then Street Fighter starting on all day Tuesday. And then starting Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it's Street Fighter balanced with either Detroit or H1Z1. That'll take us into next week. Of course, next week we've got multiple new releases as well with Vampire and Shaq Fu. So we'll figure out, you know, how that balance is going to work once we get a lot closer. All right. But we're still pretty far away from it. So there you have it. Okay. So there you go, guys. Also, I have good news. Ladies and gentlemen, as of Friday night, we hit the subscriber goal for the month of May here on the channel, on the stream. I want to say thank you to everyone who came out for the Detroit premiere on Friday. It was one of the best days I've had in a million years. I mean, seriously, you guys were incredibly supportive. Not only were there a ton of attendees to watch the stream, but people were cheering, subbing, and tipping to the point where we exceeded the subs that we needed for the month. In fact, the other piece of good news, all right, the other piece of good news is that even though yesterday I was off, yesterday was my day off after 9 straight days of streaming, you know, I had to do errands and take some time away. While I was doing that, guess what? We didn't lose any subs. We're still at 428 subs today. So we are above the goal. We're still maintaining above the goal. And I get the feeling with Detroit and Street Fighter and everything coming out, you know, we may actually get pretty high here this month. And keep in mind, anything that you do right now with subscriptions helps me out tremendously. And in particular, if you subscribe today, like right now, it will behoove you, because today I'm going to run a lot of ads, because I'm going to be taking ad breaks every 30 minutes or so to go stir and season my sauce. You won't have to watch any of those ads. When you subscribe to the channel, you don't have to see advertisements at all. All right. So that's one benefit. Another benefit is obviously getting access to all of the emotes in the chat. And as you guys heard, as I just announced, Popsicolo just asked me, gee, should we do some Street Fighter emotes? And my answer was yes. So it sounds like we're going to be getting some new Street Fighter emotes coming up for the Street Fighter Anniversary Collection sooner rather than later. So again, if you're a subscriber, you'll be able to use those. Those will be awesome. And of course, you get the cool chat crown badge if you subscribe as well. You know, it's a bronze crown if you are a newcomer. It turns to silver after 3 months of support, gold after 6. You get some nice rubies after a year. And we will be having some amazing diamond crowns when people hit 2 years, but that's a ways off still. So pretty awesome. And I'm very excited for everything. Right now, it's the perfect opportunity to subscribe and get all these awesome benefits. All right, guys? Sound good? All right, what else? What else? I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to talk about before we get to the plugs segment. Because we got the plugs and then we got shout-outs, right? Let me think about this. In particular, I don't think there's anything else I really need to address today. I think we're just ready to jump into the plugs, and then we'll get started, all right? So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for 10 years. 10 years of support. I have been a content creator, all right? A content creator for 10 years. You may not realize this. A lot of people don't even know who I am, and then they hear me like, who's that guy? I've been around, you know, I was one of the originators of turning Let's Plays into raw, unedited, reactionary content on YouTube. It's true. All right? I certainly didn't create the Let's Play, but I was one of the people that made them prominent and popular on YouTube 10 years ago. Thank you for that, for allowing me to continue to do what I love. Certainly, I've evolved and changed over time. I am more of a live streamer now than anything else, but I do enjoy putting out fun gameplay content for you on a daily basis, and I don't want it to stop. I want to keep doing it for as long as I can because I love my job. That being said, the best thing you can do to support me is to watch. Watch the streams and watch the videos on YouTube. But if you want to go above and beyond just being a stream viewer or video watcher and help in another way, there are a few ways you can. The first is to check out my Patreon over at patreon.com/darksidephil. This is a monthly pledge campaign that I run where your pledges obviously help me out to keep doing this for a living. The cost of doing this is not cheap. I have to afford all the new video games, constant upkeep of equipment, the internet and electricity, and, you know, everything about it is very pricey, all right? But it's fun to do, so your pledges help me with all that stuff, okay? In addition, when you pledge to my Patreon, you earn personal perks that allow you to get cool things back for your contributions. For example, as I've already mentioned, right now, patrons from last month are nominating and voting on games for the upcoming Patron's Choice playthrough. That's a great amount of power because think about that. What, 30, 40 people are going to determine a playthrough that thousands of people are going to watch here on stream and on YouTube. Pretty crazy, unprecedented amount of power, right? In addition, you can get text or verbal thank you shout-outs in my YouTube videos. You can get your questions answered on my bi-monthly Q&A show, Ask the King, which is going to happen more than likely in July. Originally, it was going to be for June. I think next month for June, I'm going to do a Hate Live podcast instead, a post-E3 podcast. We'll see how that goes. But you can also get a private Q&A video made. And I just made one of these last week. People love these videos. It's a private time where you can just ask me whatever you want. I'll answer a 20 to 30 minute video just for you. Pretty great perks. Give it a look over at patreon.com/darksidephil. Guys, there's only 4 days left to pledge to my Patreon to get in for this month. If you don't pledge the next 4 days, you won't get your perks right away. You're going to have to wait a month or more because you'll be for the next month's campaign. So if you pledge now in the next 4 days, you'll get all your reward perks within the month of June, okay? Please consider pledging. It helps me out a lot, and, you know, especially with the bills coming up, okay? So thanks very much. Number 2, there's my Teespring shop, where you can get all kinds of fun merchandise, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, stickers, and mugs. All great quality stuff that I can personally attest to the quality of. Reason being, I own a bunch of it. You know, these are shirts that I have bought a bunch of, and I wear on the streams. The mug I use every single day on stream. All high quality stuff. Give it a look. If you get something from my Teespring shop, I get a commission from the sale and it helps me out, and you get a fun collectible. All right. That's teespring.com/stores/DSPGAMING. All right. Please give it a look and consider buying something. It helps me out a big time. Okay. Now, I'm going to have to head downstairs quickly to stir the sauce, so let me finish up with this segment of plugs, all right? If you're watching live on stream, and the reason I say that is because some people watch this pre-stream on demand on YouTube, but if you're watching this live on stream, and you're excited for what's going on in the game, and you want to be supportive, maybe you want to give a cheer, sub, or tip so you can get a shout-out on the stream, you could do so. I will give you a shout-out for anyone who cheers, subs, and tips today. However, please keep in mind that this game is very narrative-heavy. If I'm in the middle of a quick time event that's going to be, you know, make or break for a character's life, I'm probably not going to interrupt with a shout-out, but I will do shout-outs as often as I can, and it worked out perfectly on Friday. They didn't seem too intrusive. It just worked out pretty well, all right? So, cheering with bits, subscribing to the channel, or tipping me, you will get a shout-out during the stream. But there are some criteria. Number 1, please be as short-worded as possible, as concise and, you know, least amount of words as possible, because if you give me a 27-paragraph sentence or, you know, a run-on message, I'm probably not going to read the whole thing and derail the whole stream. If you want to say, you know, a shout-out, a joke, a comment about what's going on, that's great. Keep it brief. But the longer-winded you are, the less chance that I'm going to read your whole thing on stream, all right? Number 2, please be positive. Please don't derail the stream with negativity, with politics, with religion. I don't need to know about people insulting me in other places while I'm live streaming or stealing my content or doing nasty stuff. I don't care. I'm here to put out a fun and entertaining stream, not to be distracted by drama and negativity and toxicity. And also, I'm not going to address controversial topics. Obviously, people being racist, all these things, okay? Not good stuff for this stream. Not allowed here. All right, it's against the rules. So please keep that stuff out of the cheering, out of the subbing, out of the tipping. I'm not going to give you a shout out if you're focusing on that kind of stuff. In particular, most people who seek to get a shout out know what they're doing. They get it, and we have fun, entertaining streams here every single day. So no worries, everyone. We're going to have a good one. All right. Now, number 2, if you would like a visual recognition, a big nice pop-up animation to play as a thanks for your contributions as well, you could do that. How do you qualify for that? Well, you either need to cheer with bits, 50 bits or more. All right, or you can subscribe to the channel and wait a couple minutes. A share button should appear, and if you click on that share button, then it should play the animation. Or if you tip me $5 or more during the course of today's stream, those 3 criteria, you'll get an on-screen animation as a thank you, and much appreciated again. It's awesome to get both visual and verbal recognition. Now, I do want to bring up tips for 2 reasons in particular. Number 1, tips help me out a lot, guys. Tips are when you send me money via my tips page, via PayPal, and I get it right away. It allows me to pay bills. Right now in particular, it's crunch time for me. It's the end of the month, which means the first week to 2 weeks of the month is when all my bills clear. So any tips that you guys send me right now help me tremendously, because it allows me to not have to worry about, oh my God, my bank account's going to overdraw or whatever, which happens sometimes. Last month we narrowly avoided it because of your support. All right. So, in particular, if you would like to contribute today, I would prefer tips, and I would prefer that probably for the next week to 2 weeks. It would help me out a lot, all right? So that being said, how do you tip me? Well, there's 2 ways that you could do it. Either, if you're watching live on stream right now and you scroll below the stream, you may see a grid of information. If you see this grid of information, it'll have things like the stream rules, a link to my YouTube channel, DSP Gaming, and there should be a section there that says tip cup or tips jar. Click on that. It'll take you to my tips page, and then you can leave a tip, either anonymously or with a name and a message if you want a shout out during the stream. All right. Now, if you look below my stream, you don't see any of that information I just described. More than likely, it means you're on a mobile version of the site. Mobile versions don't display those buttons. However, if you type !tip into the stream chat at any time, the Nightbot, which is our moderation bot, will bring that link up. Okay, and then you can click on that link, and you can leave a tip via that method. Again, tips, the preferred method. If you are going to contribute today, they help me out way more than anything else right now. I do need the help with the next couple of weeks. Money's going to be very tight. So any help that you can lend is greatly appreciated, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? All right. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to run downstairs, stir the sauce, and season it. And then I'll be back with the continuation of pre-stream. This second half is going to be all shout-outs. I'm going to be giving you guys shout-outs for your contributions, both yesterday when I wasn't here and today during the pre-stream. So if you want to shout-out on the stream, now is the time to cheer, sub, or tip. I'll be right back. Give me like 2 minutes, and then we will continue. All right? I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back. Told you it would be quick. I stirred the sauce and I put in a bunch of seasonings, including garlic and onion salt, a little bit of oregano, a little bit of basil, and a few dashes of red pepper. And I stirred it all up. Very delicious. And now it simmers for about another 30 minutes, so I have to go back down there again. Okay? All right. So before we even start with shout-outs, I want to give a shout-out to the top contributors for the week. These are the people who stepped up and did the biggest contributions with cheers. All right, so I want to say thank you to these people, and specifically before we get to the individual shout-outs. So let's actually go from, you know what? From now on, I'm going to go from the bottom to the top. A big build-up. So tied for 10th place, we've got King Swaggins and Mark McCauley. Thank you, both of you guys. Then, a tie for 8th place, One Ton Hammer and That Douche Kid. Then in 6th, we've got Golden Colt. In 5th place, Kupo Mog. In 4th place, Ben Tatership. In 3rd, we've got Fred Flintstone. In 2nd, Sophia Rain. And in 1st place, sitting firmly at the top, it's Insomniatic Me. So thanks to you 10 people for your amazing amount of contributions this week. You guys are awesome, and you're really the reason why I get to keep doing this for a living, and I love it. So thank you guys very much. All right, now, let's go ahead and let's get to the individual shout-outs for people who have cheered, subbed, and tipped. First off, I want to thank the people who keep me in mind when I'm not even here. And what I mean by that is, for example, yesterday, I wasn't live streaming. I had my day off where I was doing errands and had to buy all the ingredients for the sauce and doing all this stuff. Wasn't able to live stream, but there's people who keep me in mind and come by, and they cheer, they sub, and they tip when I'm not even here. That is so much appreciated. Thank you very much. Let's give these people credit. All right, so first of all, 2Bar King did a 100-bit cheer and said, I'm loving the Detroit Become Human playthrough. I agree. I love the game. I'm having a ton of fun with it. I certainly hope you guys got caught up with the playthrough on YouTube. If you had not watched all of my streaming on Friday, you know, all the videos were live on YouTube yesterday. Hopefully you got caught up for today's stream. God of Death 89 subscribe to the channel. Thank you, God of Death 89, for the sub. I appreciate that. Infinite 55 did a 100-bit cheer with a fun thumbs up emote. Thank you very much, Infinite. Appreciate that. The Honest Troll did a 25-bit cheer and said, it's funny how some of my fellow trolls still say that your girlfriend cat is missing, despite the pictures that you just posted. Because yesterday, by the way, guys, I did post 2 pictures, both to my Instagram and to Twitter. After not posting anything for months, we were having a nice day off with nice weather. We decided to take a few pictures of ourselves and post them up on the internet just because. And people, of course, flipped out. So here you go. He says, note to all trolls, there's a difference between trolling and just being complete schmucks. There you go. All right, and shout out to Yukimura Sanda. Yukimura Sanda. Excuse me, I screwed that up. Yukimura Sanada. Yukimura Sanada, who subscribed to the channel as well during yesterday when I was not live streaming, okay? Thank you guys, all of you, for your support. You guys are awesome. Now, let us get to the people who cheered, subbed, and tipped on today's stream. All right, so we start off with HardyBuck5, who cheered and says, what are your thoughts on Microsoft launching a disability-friendly controller? It's a step for them in the right direction. I already actually did a big Twitter post about this about a week ago when this was actually first announced, okay? Great news. Amazing that they are finally listening to the feedback of people who have, you know, disabilities and or mobility limitations. I think it's great. I don't think that video games, even though, you know, video games are the biggest media there is, the biggest form of entertainment. They're bigger than movies. They're bigger than TV and music and anything. They make more money and they're more mainstream than anything else right now, okay? That being said, it's funny that we have, you know, subtitles and audio descriptive stuff on all of our movies and television, and we don't have it in video games yet, right? We don't have a way for people to interact with video games for every person. And I'm not saying let's take a competitive video game and water it down to the point where, you know, a person with a disability can be a top player because we gave them a shortcut controller or something like that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is every video game on a base level should be accessible to everyone. So it is amazing that Microsoft actually, but without even leaking, because no one knew about this until last week, has been working on this controller behind the scenes that's going to have some, like, I think they said it's like 10 to 18 ports where you can get all different peripheral accessories and plug it in. You know, some people, for example, if you're paralyzed, some people have a wheelchair where you blow into a tube and it allows you to move. So they're going to have control like that in certain video games, right? How amazing is that going to be to have this controller now that could make it completely handicap accessible for a lot of games? That is pretty sweet. And what I would say is I would push and urge towards game developers to try to make their games handicap accessible as well. You know, make it so it works with this controller, guys. You know, I'm fully on board with everyone being able to enjoy video games, you know, at face level. There shouldn't be anyone who just cannot enjoy a whole medium of entertainment because of a physical limitation. That's ridiculous. All right. Shout out to YOLO Dopper. And he says, is there any way you could get other family members to try your sauce so you get feedback to improve it so later on you could use it in your online restaurant? First of all, I'm never going to have an online restaurant. But, my parents visited me twice since I moved to the West Coast. Once was right away. Like, once was the Christmas of 2014 when I first moved here. And then again in the summer of 2016. And both times I made my homemade sauce. However, the thing is, my sauce recipe changes over time. What I find is that I refine it. This works, this doesn't work. I'm going to add some cheese this time. Nah, I didn't like it. I won't add cheese next time. How about some pepper? All right, too much pepper. Next time I'll do a little bit less pepper. See what I mean? So every time I make the sauce, I change it a little bit, and I try to get it, just a little better, just a little bit, you know, tweaked this way or that way. So even though my parents have actually tasted my homemade sauce twice since I moved here, it would probably be different again if they visited today. It would probably taste different from when they tasted it before. So that being said, my family members, my parents have. Other than that, I really don't have any other family members. I don't have any siblings. I don't have any close relatives. The close relatives, sadly, a lot of my close relatives have passed away recently. My aunt and my great aunt both passed away in the past few years. So really, I don't have much family left besides my parents. But yeah, both times my parents tried it, they liked it. Albeit, I do make my sauce spicier and less sweet. My mom had in her recipe, like, put a cup of sugar into the sauce. And I did it once, and it tasted so sweet to me. I was like, oh, God, I need it less than that, So I tweak it, and I put in pepper and other spices to try to make it have a more kick to it. My mom prefers a little bit more mild. So, it is a little different, but they liked it, So one day, maybe again, I will make sauce for my parents. We'll see. Fluttershy cheered. He says, when you solo, there is Easter egg in the end of dank meme from video game. I'm going to read that again. Phil, when you solo, there is Easter egg in the end of dank meme from video game. I have no idea what you just said. Oh, okay, Fluttershy just posted the stream chat. He says, at the end of the Han Solo movie, you play the video game where the dank meme is from. So at the end of the Han Solo movie, there was a meme that relates to a video game that I have played, is what he's saying. Whoa. All right. Well, thank you for letting me know. Eventually, I will watch the movie. Not now, though. Eternal Napalm cheered. And he says, Battlefield 5 looks absolutely atrocious. I love 3 and 4, but the franchise is done as far as I'm concerned. I have not seen it. Quite frankly, I am kind of excited for first-person shooters, being that I for some reason, got better at Call of Duty World War II. Like, out of nowhere, I started doing really well at it. So I am looking forward to first-person shooters. At the same time, a lot of people are being very critical of both Black Ops 4 and Battlefield 5. So I guess it remains to be seen how things go later this year. One Ton Hammer cheered. He says, unban me from your Twitter. It's a super old ban from when it was how not to play Metal Gear Solid 3. And I've been giving you monies, so I deserve it. It's Clown 2. Now, One Ton Hammer, I'm just going to say something up front here. I have never, ever unbanned someone from anywhere because they gave me money. And I'm not like that. You're not going to bribe me, all right? However, if it is what you say, if what you say is true, and I blocked you from Twitter a bajillion years ago, okay, for whatever reason, and, you've now changed your ways, maybe you're not being a jerk to me anymore, and you're being more productive, I would not be against, giving you a second chance on Twitter. In fact, what I'm going to do right now is search for your account. This will be interesting on the fly. You said your name is Clown2. Let's see. Let's give it a look. Let's give it a look. Well, indeed, I am going back here, and I'm not seeing any real negative stuff from this guy saying anything negative about me. I've now gone back about a year. So, indeed, perhaps he is correct. Perhaps this was something that happened a ridiculously long time ago. I am not seeing anything negative here. Alright. Since I have investigated your account, I will unblock you on the basis that I've not seen you do anything, negative to me in a while. However, I will just warn you, I really don't have much tolerance for bullshit. When it comes to Twitter, if people say nasty shit about me, usually you get muted or blocked so I don't have to deal with people on my timeline just being jerks. Primarily, I use Twitter only for business anyway, so I don't need it flooded with garbage. There's some people, including other YouTubers over the years, who didn't seem to understand this premise and would flood me with garbage, and then I would block them or mute them, and then they would get angry at me. I'm like, dude, all you do is post garbage on the internet. I'm not going to fucking put up with it, all right? And you always tweet at me, too. You tweet in my direction, and you send your goddamn followers at me. What are you, stupid? So, just so you know, you are unblocked. Thank you, obviously, for your support here on streams. Please behave to avoid a future block. There you go. All right, the lollipop has cheered and asks the following question. All right. Hey there, Phil. I was wondering, why don't you have an auto-updater for top cheer and tips and auto-updating current subs? It would be good for you. 2 reasons. Number 1, because I don't use it all the time. As you guys can see during my Detroit playthrough, I have not used an on-screen leaderboard. I will not do that for new release narrative-based games. However, a perfect example for this week, Street Fighter. Of course I'm going to use it during Street Fighter. Street Fighter is just fighting games. There's nothing that's going to be intrusive or anything. So definitely we're going to have it up on as a leaderboard during the course of this week's Street Fighter streams. So that's number 1. It's not a ginormous concern for me because I don't do it for every game. Number 2, because I'm not aware of one that works properly with Muxy. Apparently Muxy does have a ticker, and I looked into using it, and I couldn't figure it out. And then someone sent me to a tutorial video, and quite frankly, I just never got a chance to look at it. I'm too busy. I mean, just for today, streaming, sauce. After the stream, I'm going to be eating dinner, cleaning up after dinner. I got to call my parents. I got to pay a ton of bills. I got to write an email to my freaking tax attorney. I got to do the poll for the patrons. I got to do scheduling and everything, upload videos. Like, my days are full. I don't have time to just sit around for 4 hours and try to figure out this shit. I just don't. I mean, real talk. My day is, boom, busy. Crazy busy, and I just haven't had a chance to sit down and figure this shit out. I wish I did, but a lot of the things people use are not Muxy. A lot of people are using, what's the other one? I guess Streamlabs or whatever, which I did use. When I first started my focus as being a live streamer a year ago, I was using Streamlabs, but it stopped working for whatever reason. It stopped working with OBS. What would happen is there'd be memory holes, and it would just give me on-screen errors, and then nothing would work. No messages, no pop-ups, nothing. I've been using Muxy for a year and never had a problem besides 2 days when the Muxy servers were lagging. They work well. So why would I change what I'm doing when it's working, right? Now, is it a little annoying to have to manually update stuff? Yes, but at the same time, when I'm manually updating top cheer, sub, or tip, it allows me to immediately do that shout-out while I'm updating it. Versus if it was just automatically updating, chances are I may even miss out on some of those shoutouts I'm supposed to be doing because it automatically put it on screen for me. So I actually like how I do it right now. I'm not saying I won't eventually adopt something if it becomes way easier where I can set it up in just a few minutes. But right now, sadly, it looks like the manual thing is here to stay. Unless somehow I have hours and hours to figure this shit out for my own, which I just don't have the time. Real talk, I just don't have time to sit down and figure this shit out. Lollipop cheered again. He says, I don't want to sound negative, but you said you wouldn't share stuff with Kat. I don't want you guys to get hurt by the asshole who microanalyzes every picture that you post. Both of you look great together. Hope the relationship stays healthy. It's very simple, Lollipop. Every once in a while, if we feel the need that we just want to post something randomly, we will. But the whole point of what I've been saying is I am not going to be completely sharing everything with you like I always have. Up until I'd say probably last year, right? it just became too much where I would share stuff and people would turn it into negatives and find ways to harass me and ruin my life, and it wasn't worth it anymore. Every once in a while, you want to see a picture of Kat and me doing something? Yeah, we'll probably post that up. And yesterday in particular, it was just a nice day. We had some time where we weren't running around all day, and we had a little bit of time at home. We were doing stuff around the house. We were like, man, it's nice weather today. We had some good lighting. Maybe we'll just take a couple pictures. And we did. And that's kind of the attitude it was. It wasn't a big thing that we planned, and it was a big to-do. We must share this with the internet. If you look, I didn't even give captions on the pictures. I didn't give a fuck. I was like, let's just take these pictures and put them up. You know, see if people like them or whatever. Who cares, right? And that's it. From now on, I'm going to be kind of like a normal person. Rather than sharing every little tidbit of everything with you, I'm going to have a private life, but if I want to share a little bit, I will. You know, it'll be pick and choose, so it's not intrusive and not giving away tons of information so you guys can intrude, because you know some people just can't help them fucking selves, right? They got to be up in my fucking shit no matter what. But for the most part, it worked out well. People liked the pictures, so there you have it. King Swaggins cheered. He says, go to extras, click the survey. After the amazing cockblock last stream, I think you should do it. I really want to see the stuff you pick. It will take 5 minutes. Please start off with it. No, I am not starting off with it. Maybe I'll do it later. I don't really care about this survey. I want to play the real game. Tanamouter did a 100-bit cheer. Thank you, Tanamouter, for the 100-bit cheer. I appreciate the support. Third Eye the Third cheered and said, Rocky No Hands is a streamer on Twitch who actually plays games with a controller made just with his mouth, much as I just described earlier. Dude is legit good at PUBG on PC. Check him out. That is amazing to hear. That is awesome to hear. I used to know a guy who would play competitive Street Fighter with one hand. He didn't have two hands. He had, one of his hands apparently either, I don't know if it was an accident when he was younger or if he was just born with only one hand, but he legit found a way to play Street Fighter with one hand. And he would go to arcade. Now, keep in mind, this was arcades. No way, I'm sure it would be too hard to play on a standard controller these days with one hand. But he would play on a joystick, arcade cabinets, and he could do it. He was good. He wasn't amazing. He wasn't like top tournament level, but he was good. He could hold his own. He got wins. You know, he had a lot of fun, and we all basically gave him a lot of support because it was pretty amazing. Now, by the way, back in the day, it should be mentioned. Back in the day, going to arcades was kind of an intimidating thing. It was basically all guys, sweaty dudes, playing games, talking shit. You know, it was a very, kind of fraternity kind of atmosphere where it was like a brotherhood, but you would talk shit to your opponents and stuff. So just going to the arcade in a lot of ways was a big step for some people, especially those who maybe socially awkward, to be, intimidated by these people who are kind of big, burly, muscular, stereotype men who are going to beat your ass in an arcade, right? But now, now this guy only had one hand and he's going out, and holding his own. So, again, I think that all video games should be accessible. There you go. Sidella cheered. He says, I beat this game last night. I love the story. I cried many times while playing, and I hope that they continue to make good Quantic Dream games. This is by far my game of the year. By the way, I love the TV show The Following. Well, I'm only 6 hours in. I certainly haven't cried yet, but I haven't had a reason to, right? Nothing terrible has really happened yet. I've managed to avoid disaster at every turn so far. That certainly doesn't mean that that's going to keep up. So, something horrible could happen. But I really love the game, too. Game of the year, I don't know yet. Let's see as we get further into the game. All right. Ren Jesse James resubbed for the 11th month in a row. And he says, why, Phil, why did you lie to me? Whiskey tastes horrible, even when mixed with a purple icy. It was interesting being buzzed for the first time in 6 years. Well, first of all, why in the holy hell did you think that mixing whiskey with a purple icy would taste good? That sounds like a horrible mistake. That real talk, that sounds awful. Whiskey is good on the rocks. Whiskey is also good when mixed with certain flavors. I'll give you a couple flavors that it tastes really good with. Cinnamon, mint, sometimes just a Jack and Coke, so mixing it with like a cola flavor. There's a few different variations that can make whiskey good. Or there are other, like, more complicated mixtures, like an old fashioned. Now that combines a bunch of different flavors with whiskey, and it tastes really good. I would never just mix it with like icy. That's gross. Whiskey is very much a taste that's unique because, as I said, it has many different things in it. A lot of whiskey has almost a woody flavor to it because some of them are aged in barrels. They all have a charcoalish flavor to them because there's charcoal involved in the brewing process or the fermenting process. But also, you can't just drink any El Cheapo whiskey. If you bought bouncy bottle whiskey, you know, the El Cheap whiskey in the plastic bottle, that stuff's disgusting. You've got to at least get like a mid-level whiskey. Like, you got to get a Jack Daniels, you know. You got to get something around mid-level or else it's going to taste gross, okay? But no, you know, everything's an acquired taste too. Some people don't like things other people like. I personally like whiskey, but I can't drink it all the time because it actually gives me bad hangovers. So, all right. Shout out to Char Blaze. Okay? Char Blaze, subscribe to the channel. Thank you, Char Blaze, for the sub. I appreciate your support. Hardy Buck cheered and says, "Did you hear didn't hear your thoughts on Friday the 13th adding a story now?" I had no idea this was happening, Hardy Buck. The last time that I checked in on Friday the 13th was October of last year when I played it on Halloween or around Halloween. I did not know they're adding a story. I mean, they promised a single player mode, which everyone thought was going to be a story, when the game was coming out. If you remember, that was a year ago. It came out in, what was it, May? It was, right? Wasn't it May of last year? So a year later, now they've decided to add a story. No one's going to buy their game. I don't know if they realize this. They're a little late to the party here. If they actually wanted more sales, they should have had the story to begin with. So, I mean, will I check it out? Maybe. I own the game, right? I could re-download it at any time. If there is a cool story mode that comes out and people say it's good, maybe I'll check it out. But, you know, no, I didn't even hear this until you told me. So thanks for the heads up. One Ton Hammer cheered and says, "That tweet was actually before I even started watching your stuff. You're one of my go-to streamers now. Detroit high." All right, thank you, One Ton Hammer. Sedella cheered. He says, "The pics look so cute. You guys look cute together." Thank you very much, Sedella. Hardy Buck cheered, and he says, "Has your VR collected dust yet?" Absolutely. My PSVR is on top of my file cabinet, just sitting there. And I doubt I'm ever going to use it again. I mean, being realistic, I can't think of, and unless there's a game that's specifically designed for PSVR that's like amazing, groundbreaking, Phil, you have to play it. There just haven't been any of these games at all. You know, most people have told me most of the games for VR are kind of frivolous. You could tell they're limited games because of the VR aspect of them. They can't have them be as good as full-fledged games because people get sick trying to play the thing, or it's tiring to have the thing on your head for extended periods of time, which is exactly what I said when the thing launched and I started playing games. I was like, I can't play for more than 20 minutes. My fucking head is sweaty and aches, you know? So it's pretty much turning out to be exactly as I thought it was, a gimmick. It was good at launch for about a month, then the gimmick wore out, and now I really don't want to buy games for it. You know, I'd much rather do interactive streams with you guys and have fun rather than worrying about a ton of peripherals and shit just to, you know, fucking be in first person in this VR game that's not great, you know, and that's pretty much what it's been for all the VR games. They're okay. Well, then why'd I buy it, right? And that's kind of, I think, what a lot of people are experiencing who ran out and bought Oculus Rift and they ran out and bought these fucking things and they're like, what the fuck did I do that for? I bought into a gimmick because I'm stupid. Wasn't it funny how every major media outlet was saying VR was the future for about a year, and then all the VR was released, and now no one talks about VR again? You don't even see anything about it, and there's no articles about it, nothing. Like, it never existed. Hilarious. Totally not predictable. Thank you to Jichurdy for resubbing for the 5th month in a row. Thank you very much, Jichurdy, for the resub. I appreciate that. And then he also cheered on top of that, and he says, "What's up, Phil? Been busy with work, but I'm glad to be back. Good to see you back, Jichurdy, and I hope that you enjoy the continuation of Detroit. I'm looking forward to it here today." YOLO Dopper cheered. He says, "If your girlfriend was a supermodel, how jealous would the fans and fighting game community be?" Listen, first of all, my girlfriend is gorgeous, at least in my eyes. And you know what? That's all that matters. All that matters between significant others is that you think that each other are attractive and you love each other, right? I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks about Kat. I really don't. I don't care. If you think she's gorgeous, good for you. If you think she's ugly, good for you. It doesn't matter. All that matters is what I think, because she's my girlfriend. So I don't give a crap about anyone else's opinion. This cheer YOLO Dopper, although I appreciate it, is pretty much the most fluff possible, because I don't give a shit. That's the bottom line. It's no one else's business. It's mine. Right? So who cares? There you go. There you go. All right. So I think that's it for shoutouts, guys. Again, a couple reminders. Number one, if you cheer, sub, or tip on today's stream, I will give you a shout out. Number 2, today's stream, I am making sauce. In fact, I have to head downstairs in just a moment to stir the sauce again before we start with gameplay. All right. So every 30 minutes or so, I will be taking a break to stir and season the sauce. Just forewarning you, there are going to be a lot of breaks on this stream. Nothing I can do about it. All right. Number 3, right now, if you really want to be supportive, please tip me if you can. Right now, no one has. To tip me, you can either click on the tip jar button below my stream to take you to the tips page, or you can type in !tip into the stream chat. That'll bring up the link that you can click on and tip me there. Tips are helping me tremendously because I get that money right away. And right now, this next week to 2 weeks is all my bills clearing. So, you know, your tips are greatly appreciated and will help me more than anything else right now. Although I am very appreciative of everyone who's been subbing. Let's actually take a look at the sub count. Let's see here. We're still at 428, so even though we had a few people who subbed, I guess a few subs actually expired as well. But that's great. We did hit the subs goal. That means I will be doing the Street Fighter Anniversary Master Challenge run sometime in June when time allows. It'll be a marathon of me doing the Street Fighter Anniversary Collection. Hardest difficulty on all arcade modes. It should be a lot of fun, all right? All right, guys. Thanks very much. Oh, hold on. Arclight just cheered. He says, not only do I wholly enjoy your gameplay, I've grown to respect you as a man because of your attitude and mindset, so keep up the good work, bro. Thank you, Arclight, for the supportive message and the cheer. I appreciate that. All right, let's end the pre-stream. I'm going to run downstairs quickly. I'm going to stir the sauce one more time before we start. Then we're going to jump in for a half an hour at Detroit, and then every half an hour or so take a break, but it's going to be Detroit, baby. Let's see how we do in Detroit today, okay? All right, guys, thanks. Let me end the pre-stream, run downstairs, and then we will begin. All right, thanks. I'll be right back, guys.